ladies and gentlemen, and engineers of all ages, welcome to Season 2 of OCP Tips. Here I'm with my friend Al today, who's actually behind the camera, but you'll see him in a minute. And he's going to talk to you about strategies for FTC.
Sorry guys, we had to re-record this piece because the wind is a freaking jerk.
Just do it illegally. We don't need to tell them. Hello everyone, my name's Alan. I'm going to be talking to you guys about strategizing for an FTC season. At the beginning of the year, as you all know, First releases a video explaining the game and how to play it. The first step to strategizing for the year is analyzing the game. You have to know how to play the game, how to score, how to defend. You also need to think about how other people might try to score and defend so you can counter it. It's also very important to understand the rules and penalties involved in the game so you don't go about breaking every rule in the book and getting your team disqualified. That's bad. You also need to look at the different elements of the game, especially the special elements such as the magnet balls in the bowl over game and the weighted rings in the ring it up game, so you can decide whether or not you want to look at these special bonuses early on or if you want to wait till later to use them. You also need to decide on a general strategy. So after you've looked at all the different ways to score and all the different ways to defend, you need to decide on one or two to pursue as a team and work on those and focus on them for the season, because then you can get a good start.
The second step to planning for an FTC season is looking at the general characteristics and abilities you want your robot to have. For example, if your robot has to reach a certain height in order to score for a game, that's a general characteristic it needs to have. You also need to look at how fast and maneuverable your robot should be for the air and how durable it needs to be depending on the level of defense that your opponents may play on it. You also need to look at interaction with field elements, especially the scoring elements, because in general there are balls or cranes, rings, etc. that you have to interact with in order to score. So it's important that your robot is able to efficiently and effectively manipulate and score these elements on the field. It's also very important to look at what general... The third and final step to strategizing for an FTC season is looking at what specific mechanisms you want for your robot in order to accomplish the tasks it needs to. For example, if you need to manipulate scoring elements, you need to decide whether you want to use an arm, a lift, a claw, etc. You also need to look at what kind of drivetrain you want to use. You can have chain, you can have gear, you can use omni wheels, you can use super tires, you can have 4 wheels, you can have 6 wheels. The possibilities are unending. You also need to look at the special elements, as I mentioned earlier, and look at what kind of mechanisms you need in order to detect and use these elements to your advantage. Once you've decided what specific mechanisms you want to have, the next step is to prototype them. And when you prototype them, you create models that generally aren't as detailed as the final model will be, but that can prove the general concept and can prove that the idea actually works. Once you have the prototypes, you can analyze the effectiveness of them and see if they're something you actually want to have on the robot. If they are, you can go ahead and start putting them on your robot. If not, then you can explore one of the other ideas you had and see if that one works better for you. From all of us here at the Oddly Charged Particles, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. I don't know what I'm doing here, but at least I'm learning.
Good kitty.